Mitsuya, one of the other leaders of the Manji gang, clan, whatever you want to call them, is on Grand Summoners Global, and like any other Tokyo Revengers unit, we gotta show them off, man. Unfortunately, though, if you guys have seen the mini summon videos we've done across this channel already, you know that I didn't pull a single Part 1 Tokyo Revengers unit. And because of that, I went and asked all of you on my community tab if I could use a Mitsuya or a Mikey. And I got a ton of comments from a lot of you guys. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's not like I picked favorites or anything like that. I just randomly picked somebody, my boy Vitamin. So thank him so much for allowing me to show off Mitsuya in today's video. And here he is, Mitsuya, showing off his shoulder that clearly has nothing on it. Don't you guys look up what Mitsuya's shoulder actually has on it. Don't do it. So his abilities are paralysis resistance level 4. We have his unique ability, which allows him to get 200 art gauge and HP recovery 50% when near death. This is one time only, very similar to something like Sistina's passive. And you have good condition art gauge up 5. If your HP is above 50% or more, you get 5 art gauge per second, which is really great because it's going to benefit his supporting capabilities quite a bit. We have his skill, which is able to reduce the enemy's evasion rate. We have his art, which is able to increase all allies' equipment CT speeds by 40%, only physical items though. And we have his true art, which does a massive 55,000% water damage physical, and then you autofill everybody's art gauge by 4, and you increase allies' arts by 120 for 20 seconds. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Mitsuya should be type E, which is the crossover archgen type, so he'll be able to stack with every other character in the game unless they are a type E archgener. And as for his slots, I mean, they're okay. 5-star physical, 5-star heal, 4-star physical. As for the equips that I would recommend running on him, True Izanagi's great. Anything that's going to give you art gauge because you want to benefit from your true art as much as possible, since that gives you the 4 arts per second and also the attack up to everyone. The heal item could be really whatever if you want Demonic Wicked Glow, Devil Wings, or if you want something like a Keratos to give yourself a cleanse is also really nice. 4-star support could be really anything. Keon, Arc Ignite, Finaloha Shorts, anything that's going to give you AoE Archgen or some type of good like bonus like equipment CT down, whatever the case may be. And as for the crest you want to run on this guy, there's a few things that I think you could run. You could go like attack up, you could go equipment CT down, you could go Promise of the Funeral God if you wanted to make him hit a little bit harder. I mean, there's a lot, you know what I mean? It's more so just pick your poison. So yeah, hopefully now you see why I say he's more of the supporting role. Because if you know about the other Tokyo Revengers unit, you know there's a lot more damage oriented stuff like Mikey and Draken, or a little bit more of the heavy hitters compared to someone like Mitsuya. Of course, I'm not even considering Shifuyu because Shifuyu is a little bit more defensive, but we're not talking about him right now. And I'm excited to use him because he's kind of known as now the rainbow or like the universal Hatsune Miku, since his true art is literally Hatsune Miku's true art, but now it's not tied to any element. It can be just used for every element, which is pretty great. There is a pretty big negative to him though, which is the fact that he does give attack up, and if you guys know, stacking too much attack up does give you diminishing returns, so you need to make sure that you're using him alongside other characters that don't already have attack up in their kit to get the most out of him. And to go with that even more, I'm going to be using this team right here, which is going to be the Shuri, the Gerald, Mitsuya, and the Haruto. Now the thing is that we don't actually have 2 archgeners, which is what I would like to have, which is like Haruto, Mako, and then like Mitsuya at the end, just to capitalize on as much archgen as possible. And that team will probably be able to keep us alive, but just because of the stage being the botanical beast, I don't want to get silenced and I don't want to take too much damage. So that's the reason why I'm not running like 2 archgeners, even though we technically still are because Mitsuya is an archgener. And here we go, using the boy Mitsuya against the type disadvantage stage. That was another thing, but I wanted to do something different, man. I saw the botanical beast was here today, so I'm like, you know what, screw it, we're gonna do this one today. As long as Mitsuya stays above that HP threshold like he is now, he's gonna be able to get his arts up pretty quickly. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any innate archgen apart from just his passive, which would be pretty great if he did, but this is something that, let's say if you were a newer player, this is actually something that is completely plausible for you, because let's say you summon Mitsuya from like the crossover and then you got Haruto from the forever summon, then this would be very similar to what you would be experiencing. I'm actually surprised that Haruto hasn't been able to get into his true art yet. There it is. And now since we have both of them, we're gonna be able to archgen and be perfectly fine. Good thing is too, everybody on this team is a human, so everyone's getting the benefit of Haruto being Haruto. And as you see here, once Mitsuya pops up his true art, there it is. We're gonna get the attack buff on top of it, and Shuri's just gonna go to town. Even without any type of defense ignore or any type of like crit rate or anything like that, she's still gonna hit extremely hard. Also, don't you love the UI change, chat? We have the little icon that shows the timer for the third eye, which is so nice. Kind of late though, am I right? You know, kind of a little bit late on that GS, but it is here. As you see there, Shuri just dealing all the I love this character, by the way. Jesus Christ, dude. This is one of my favorite characters in the game. She just does so much damage, and oh snap, we're gonna have a crit for this last hit here. This is gonna be pretty nasty. Yeah, this is gonna be a crit, and oh, let me see it. Oh, Jesus Christ. This ain't a Shuri showcase, I know, but I wanted to, you know, I have to show off that. But here's the thing, right? Here's the problem with showing off supporting characters is that, like, if they're not damage dealers, it's kind of hard to tell what they're doing just because, you know, you're not really seeing the deeps. You're just seeing what the other damage dealers are doing. But as we see here, if we look right here, Mitsuya with the 1.5 million still did really good damage, even at type disadvantage there. Definitely, I think he would perform even better if you had like the double arch generers, plus he was like just the last unit that you had on the team. So, you know, running like the Haruto, the Mako, or running like Haruto and Finn alongside Mitsuya. Either way though, Mitsuya, pretty great. I like him a lot. I think he's a cool unit. And I think that the fact that he doesn't have the 5-star support does hurt him, but it doesn't hurt him as much as some others just because he does have that innate arch gen. Unfortunately, it's not like to the whole team, which is really why I say that 5-star supports are so crucial for support characters, since you're able to give more art gauge and spread out the arts a little bit better. That's going to be it for this one. Thank you all for coming out. Tell me down below how you guys like Mitsuya. I personally would like to have this character so I can do more testing myself. I want to see him be used on other things. Thank you all again for coming out. And last but not least, don't forget to drink water.